Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley of Ashley Plans and Reads, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that are saving my life right now. All right, so let's just get started. Hopefully this won't be too long. So the number one thing that is saving my life right now, and this is not sponsored, I mean, who's going to sponsor me at this point, right? Is our HelloFresh subscription. We are loving it. I have found that meal planning has been very difficult during quarantine because I'm not going into store shopping. I'm ordering my groceries for the most part, and it's quite frustrating when I come up with a plan, I order the ingredients I need, and then half of what I need I don't get. And so and at that point, I just don't know what to do. I just kind of shut down. So HelloFresh has made dinners so much easier for us. The planning is, we basically don't have to do any planning at all. It comes pre-portioned, ready to go. And we don't have to worry about missing ingredients. And there's a lot of variety. It's especially great for my husband since he's doing most of the cooking these days. He comes downstairs after his day of work and he can just grab the bag and the meat, if it's a meat dish, and he can just hop to it. And so we are loving HelloFresh, and it is totally saving my life right now. Saving me grief, saving me stress, saving me brain space. The second thing saving my life right now are lounge shorts from a small online business called Milk and Honey Teas. I will insert a picture of it here because I'm wearing them and I'm not going to stand up and show you my butt. So I will be sure to put a link in the description box. So I'm living in these shorts and they are so comfortable. They're like a terry cloth, really all like pre-worn in kind of just really comfortable fabric to have comfy shorts that I can wear that keep me feeling good. And cool are a necessity right now. So that's the second thing that's saving my life. Lounge shorts from Milk and Honey Teas. So the third thing saving my life right now, and I don't want to sound too dramatic, but there may have been times where this particular thing has maybe actually saved my life in the past. This is not just a quarantine thing that I have been loving. I have loved this for years now, and that is the Popcast with Knox and Jamie. It's a pop culture podcast, and it releases every Wednesday morning, and they have a robust Patreon community and support, and they put out great content there. They're just hilarious and really insightful into things about pop culture and the way that pop culture actually affects our real lives, but they also they most certainly do not take themselves too seriously. Their tagline is educating you on the things that entertain but do not matter. And while the things they talk about may not matter, their work matters a great deal and has to me for a long time. I don't think I've talked about this yet on my channel, but I have dealt with some pretty severe postpartum depression and anxiety since my son was born that went undiagnosed for a long time. And in the last few years, in some of my darkest moments, Knox and Jamie have been a light when I didn't have any other lights, or at least I couldn't see any other lights. And I do support them on Patreon because their work has just literally saved my life. And the more content I can have from them, the better. To have a backlog to go back to when I need a good laugh is always a good thing. And so I am so grateful for the work that Knox and Jamie do. And if you've never listened to them, I highly recommend it. Just search the Popcast with Knox and Jamie on wherever you like to listen to podcasts, and you will find them and you will love them. And thank you, Knox and Jamie. You literally saved my life. At the risk of being too dramatic. Okay, the fourth thing saving my life right now, and this is very bougie, and I know it, and I own it, but it is my Roomba vacuum and mop. My husband got me these items for Christmas last year, and they're the only way our floors stay clean or ever get clean. It's embarrassing to admit, but I am not great at just cleaning, especially when I had much less motivation and energy than I do now. They have saved the day so that we are not constantly walking on crumbs and filthy, nasty floors. And it's just a beautiful thing to be able to push a button on my phone and my floors get clean. I don't really have to do much more than that. I love my Roombas, and I realize how absurd it is that I have both a vacuum and a mop robot, but there it is. They're saving my life. And we did name the vacuum Death Eater, and we named the mop Argus Filch because he was always mopping something up. Anyway, an insight into our little nerdy life here. So that is my Roombas. All right, and so the last thing, which really kind of is three things, but the fifth thing saving my life right now is music. And I'm going to talk about three specific groups that I turn to over and over and over again. The first group is the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, and their new album, Gaslighter. Very powerful and emotional and empowering, I think, in a lot of ways. I find it very empowering anyway, and yeah, I love that album. I've been a big fan of them for a while, and they just put out great music. And this album is no exception. So that's the Chicks. The second group is a group called Penny and Sparrow. They're a duo, and their most recent album, just in the last few weeks, is actually a live album from Texas, and it's just beautiful. But the one that, if I, as Kendra Dachi at the Lazy Genius often says, and she's really who got me into Penny and Sparrow, because if you know her, you know how obsessed she is with this band. Kendra once said that Penny and Sparrow makes her feel like she's sitting down on the inside. So if she can't rest, and like take a break, a real true break, she'll just turn on Penny and Sparrow, and it will feel like her insides are just sitting down for a minute. And truly, that is how they make me feel also. Particularly their first album, Tin Boom. There's just something about that album. Whenever I am like really tense and tight and anxious, if I put that on, I immediately just feel my body relax. It feels like my soul is taking a deep breath. There are just so many beautiful songs on that album. Brothers in particular is kind of an anthem, and has been for me in some of my darkest moments, and I just truly love it. They make me feel like a person, as Kendra says, and I think they do that for a lot of people. So I highly recommend Penny and Sparrow. Any of their albums are fantastic. My particular favorite is their first one, Tin Boom. And then the third group is my all-time favorite, do or die, like cannot get enough of their music, is JohnnySwim. And particularly what they have been doing in quarantine. My husband and I saw them for the first time in last April in San Francisco, and it was incredible to finally see them live. We have loved them for a long time. Much of their music has become kind of a soundtrack to our relationship and our life as a family. And they are maybe the most romantic band ever. They're a husband and wife duo. They clearly are madly in love with each other. They have beautiful babies. They're just beautiful people themselves. But they make fantastic music, just really wonderful. And Amanda, the wife in the duo, she is Donna Summer's daughter, And so you can imagine what her voice sounds like. It gives me chills every time I hear it. And to actually watch her sing and perform is captivating. You cannot take your eyes off of her when she's performing. She's just phenomenal. And Abner, her husband, is equally as captivating. They make wonderful music. And so one of the things that they did during quarantine was they decided they called it Songs with Strangers, and they would jump on Instagram Live, and at around like noon California time, because they're on the West Coast, and they would randomly select someone who was watching the live, and then they would write a song with this person. They would like hear their story, then they would write a song with this person, and then so they would write, record, like master and release a song by midnight that night. So in 12 hours, they would choose a random person and write a song and release it. And they did this 6 times in quarantine, and every one of them is fantastic. And you can listen to it on Spotify. You can stream all of the whole album, the Songs with Strangers album, on Spotify. You can also get it on vinyl if you wanted to. But then shortly after they released that album, after they had done all 6 of these, they did a live from their backyard show to kind of celebrate it, and that they did, and they streamed it on Instagram and on YouTube. And my husband and I planned a date night around it, and it was so awesome. I mean, it was almost as good as like seeing them in person, like being in the same room with them. Not quite, because there's nothing quite like that, but it was so life-giving to watch them perform and to see them sing these songs that they had, like, I mean, who does that? It's just genius, and like a true testament to their talent, I think. And so then they've decided to do these live shows from their backyard once a month for however long they decide to do it, I guess through quarantine. And so they did one in August, and they're going to do another one in September, on September 10th. And I love it. I love it so much. They are so generous with their music and their talent. And if you're not listening to JohnnySwim, what are you doing? Get on it. So that's the 5th thing that is saving my life right now, is music. The Chicks, Penny and Sparrow, and JohnnySwim. And I highly recommend all of them. All right, so that should do it. That's the 5 things saving my life right now. And I will leave links and information about everything I talked about down in the description box below. I highly recommend checking out the music and the podcast. And I just love all of these things. So let me know in the comments what's saving your life right now. I'm going to do this kind of instead of my favorites for the month. I'll do a monthly what's saving my life right now. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. And I will see you soon. Bye.